Good morning, boys and girls. It's lovely to be with you today. I hope you've had a lovely week. And I'm here just to tell you about something that happened to me in the past week. I don't know if any of you in your homes ever have your groceries delivered. I've started to do this in lockdown just to save me going into the shops and to keep my family just a little bit safer. But when the delivery driver arrived with my groceries last weekend, he had a little bag for me, and what was inside the bag wasn't what I had ordered. And I was a bit confused because it had never happened before. And then he talked to me and he explained what was in the bag, and he called it my substitutions. And what happened was some of the items that I had ordered were out of stock. And so rather than send me nothing, they decided to replace what I had ordered with something similar. A substitution, something that took the place of what it was I really wanted. And that got me thinking just about substitutions and other situations in life when we hear of this word and what it means. And I've got a few pictures here to show you of different substitutions that you might have come across before. So the first instance that I thought of when I might read about a substitution is in a recipe. And I don't do that much cooking or that much baking. In fact, if I go to make something or bake something new, the chances are I don't have all of the ingredients that I need in my cupboard. And often I'll have to look up and search on Google or something like that to see what I could substitute for what is in the recipe. And when I was looking at this during the week, I found out that if a recipe, for example, calls for an egg, you can substitute an egg for half of a banana. And that wasn't something that I knew, but the banana takes the place of the egg in the recipe and does the same job. What about here in school? Have you ever gone into school and been surprised that your teacher wasn't the person standing at the front of your classroom? Maybe your teacher had an appointment or an important meeting or a course to go to, and so they couldn't teach your class for that day. What you find at the front of your classroom on a day like that is a sub-teacher or a substitute teacher. And that teacher, again, just like in the recipe, comes to take the place of your actual teacher. They come and they teach you for the day as a replacement, taking the place of the teacher that you usually have. And lastly, I thought about sport. And if any of you play sport, you'll know that there are always substitutions. For example, if somebody in a sport hurts themselves, someone playing, they hurt themselves, or perhaps they're maybe not playing their best game, or maybe they're getting too tired and their coach thinks that they have to leave the pitch and let somebody else have a go. Just like here in football, when you have players substituted for one another. You know, boys and girls, we can also read about a substitute in the Bible. In the beginning, back in creation, God made everything, and God made everything perfect. In fact, if you read in Genesis about the story of creation, you'll see that God made everything and that he said it was very good. But something entered our world that changed things forever, and that was sin. And sin changed the relationship that man had with God. No longer could we be close to him because of the sin in our lives. And we might think that we're not that bad, that maybe we don't sin very often, but we're all born with sin. And it's a problem because it separates us from God. And it's a real problem because there is nothing that we can do to fix our problem of sin. Nothing. We are helpless and we are hopeless. But God stepped in and provided for us a substitute, someone to take our place. We don't deserve the forgiveness that God gives to us, but in Jesus we find the perfect substitute. He took our place. He didn't deserve it. This is what the Bible says in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 21. For he made him who knew no sin to be sin for us. Jesus was perfect and he didn't deserve to take our punishment for our sin, but God in his love and in his mercy provided Jesus to take our place, to be the substitute. And it's a wonderful, wonderful gift. Salvation and freedom from sin. And I just hope this morning that when you see any substitutions being made, or the next time you see a sub-teacher at the front of your classroom, that you will think of Jesus, our ultimate substitute, and what that means for you and I to be able to be free from sin.